Good day, good people. Welcome to Good Things Fashion Tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to make this umbrella flared top. And the first thing we need to do is to fold our fabric in this manner. We are going to spread out our fabric. We actually need about 3 yards of fabric, 2.5 to 3 yards of fabric. You spread it out and fold it in this manner. You spread out the entire the entire 3 yard and fold it over into two in this manner. After which you will now turn it and take the edge of the folded area and fold over diagonally in this manner. You fold it over diagonally in this manner in such a way that you have 4 layers on top of each other. You have 4 layers laying on top of each other at the edge over there. You have 4 layers and the folded side will be facing you. Now the next thing is to turn that folded side. Make sure you turn it in a way that it will be perpendicular to the edge of your table. It's going to form a straight line to the straight line at the edge of your table in this manner. Before you start marking your measurements, you turn the folded edge to face you in this manner. Then you take your ruler or your tape rule, and the first thing we need to do is to measure out our shoulder length divided by 2. And in order to achieve that one accurately, you need to place your tape rule in a way that is going to form a 90 degree to the edge of that folded side, a perfect L shape. Fold it in and you place the tape rule in such a way that is going to form a perfect L shape with the edge of the folded side of the fabric. Make sure you don't place it like this or in any other way that's going to be slanting. You have to be careful to make sure it's forming a perfect L. It's performing is 90 degree angle at that place, and that's how you are going to mark the shoulder measurement and start marking out all our measurements. And that's what I have here on the table. That's what I how I folded my fabric. I actually have a 4 yard fabric here because I want a very big, long, uh, umbrella flared top. But you can use your normal blouse length to make it because it's a top. It depends on how long you want it to be. Now I'm here marking my shoulder width, this which is my shoulder length divided by 2, which gives me 7.5 inches plus sewing allowance of 0.5 inches, making 8 inches. And that's what I marked there. Now I'm marking armhole, my armhole depth of 10 inches. That's what I'm marking now. I mark my armhole depth over there. And that armhole depth, make sure your tape rule is also perpendicular to the edge of the folded side of that fabric. You can make sure that happen by making sure by measuring out the 8 inches for your shoulder, or by measuring out your shoulder length again at that place where you are going to mark your armhole, so that you are actually marking it on top of the 8-inch point of the end of the armhole, so that it has to be perpendicular to the edge of the fabric. So, and here I'm ruling out my shoulder line, and my armhole depth. I'm ruling them out. Now the next thing is to mark out my neck circumference, and for my neck width I'm marking out 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches. And for the neck depth at the back, I'm making it 2 inches. while the front will be 4 inches, because we are cutting both the front and the back together. So I mark out the two sides on the same cloth, on the same on the front here, and I'm marking them, joining it together, marking out the neck circumference. Now the next thing is I'm marking out my shoulder slants, and I'm joining it neck to the neck width there. Now the next thing is to mark out my bust measurement. Right on top of that armhole depth, I mark out my bust measurements plus 2 inches sewing and ease allowance, because this is a free top. It has to be free. We need to add some ease and also the sewing allowance. So I mark out ease allowance and sewing allowance. And that's what I'm ruling out right now. Now on the armhole line, I'm measuring out to determine the midpoint of that armhole line. To determine the midpoint of it, and I'll mark it out. After marking out the middle of the armhole depth, then I draw a curve for my armhole. Draw a curve to join the bust length. Draw a curve, and this the first curve I'm drawing is for the back of the top, and it is joining directly on the middle point of the armhole depth. Now I'm marking out 0.5 inches away from that midpoint into the body of the top, and that will make the armhole line for the front of the top, and that's what I'm drawing now. Draw a curve to join the shoulder points and the bust points to form the front of the armhole. That's what I'm drawing right now. This second line is for the front of the blouse. The one that I go in by 0.5 inches at the middle of the armhole line is for the front of the top. Now the next thing is for me to draw my blouse length, and in order to achieve that, I place my tape rule at the joining point of the neck and the shoulder. The joining point of the neck width and the shoulder, that middle point where the measurement for the neck width join the shoulder slant. I'll place my tape rule there, and from there I will begin to mark my blouse length. From that point, I'll mark it in a circular fashion, in a circumference manner. Whatever you have decided to be your blouse length, mark it in a circular way. You continue to mark it. Make sure the tape rule is at that starting point at the junction of the neck and the shoulder, and then you continue to mark your blouse length in a circumference manner like that. Continue to mark it. Continue to mark it until the edge of the folded fabric. Now after marking it, I decided to join the points together. All the points that I marked, I join it to form an arc, to form the base, the bottom of the blouse. I join it together, and that's where I'm going to cut for my blouse. Now the next thing is to join the bust point to the edge of the fabric, to the hem of the fabric. I'm joining the bust points to the end of the fabric over there. Now the next thing is to cut out our fabric, to cut out our blouse. And that's what I'm doing now, to cut it out. But remember to add 0.5 inches to the shoulder line, to the on top of the shoulder line, as joining allowance. 0.5 inches at the top of the shoulder for joining allowance. That's what I just remember now. And I'm reeling it out. Now I'll cut out my blouse, cut out the entire length of the blouse. Now, the next thing is to cut out our entire fabric, to cut out our blouse. This is what I have after cutting out the entire blouse. I first of all cut out the back neckline, which is higher than the front neckline, and also the back armhole, and then the entire fabric. This is what I have, and what I am going to do is to remove the inside, the back side of the blouse, which is the inside. You now separate the back from the front, and that's what I'm doing here by cutting out that joined part. Note that the paper I'm using is not enough for the size I'm cutting. That's why that side is like that. Maybe I'm using a fabric, I would have to cut out another fabric to make up for that side that is not equal. So I remove the inside, the one inside, to make it the back side of the blouse, and I wrote on it back. Now the one that I mark the chalk on is my front part of the blouse, and I'm cutting out the neckline, the front neckline now, and also I will now cut out the front armhole, which is 0.5 inches behind the back armhole. That's how I now cut it out. And I'm writing out on it front And this is what I have after opening it up. This is how it should be, the front side of the blouse. Now I've decided to make a long sleeve for the blouse, and this is the long sleeve. I already cut it out. I have a video on this channel teaching you how to make a sleeve. You can check it out if you need that. This is the sleeve. Remember to notch the edge of the sleeve, the top of the sleeve. Remember to notch it, and from that notch edge you join it to the fabric. After joining the shoulder, I've already joined the shoulder of my fabric on the two sides. I already joined the front to the back. Now we are going to join the sleeve, open the sleeve and turn the right side, facing the right side of the shoulder of the blouse, and then you place the notch edge to the joining line, and then you sew it down. Sew it down. That's how to join the sleeve. And then I already hem the neck circumference by turning it two times. I turned it twice. I did not use bias and I did not use a facing. I just turned it twice for a neat, simple finishing. This is one of the sleeve which I already joined, and this is the entire fabric after joining it on the two sides. This is the flared umbrella top after joining every side of it. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and put on the notification bell so that you can know whenever I upload a video. Thank you very much.